Hey, Casper. So you're the sound supervisor and studio owner of Dreamsound in Warsaw. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with the youngsters who want to join the film business. What sort of advice can you help us with?
Hi, Paul. Long time no see. Thank you for inviting me and having me here.
Absolute pleasure.
I hope that what we will discuss here might be interesting for the youngsters, which me and you are not anymore.
I'm afraid not.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been doing it for 20 years now, and we started Dreamsound almost 20 years ago. So here's a couple of things that might be useful for the people that are new in the business. So first thing that people always ask me is how to get to work at Dreamsound. Um, and I always say, well, you need to try, you need to apply, and you need to be creative. Um, we receive one email weekly asking us if we need someone to work, if we are looking for a sound editor, sound designer. Well, we are looking for someone good all the time. And what I always say is, be creative, try to try to attract us, send an email that says something more than only your name and age and what you've done. I remember this one guy that applied to our studio, and he sent us a letter, a paper letter, which was wrapped in a film print, a 35 millimeter film print, and he hand wrote a letter to us saying how much he enjoyed film sound and how much he enjoyed our work, and he's dreaming of becoming one of us. Um and what attracted us is that he sent it via airmail and wrapped it in this
Yeah,
film.
very enterprising.
Yeah, so we thought, well, let's give this guy a try. And among 5 or 10 people that we received emails from at that time, this one was creative, interesting, and the guy
And it
ended up
stood
working.
out.
It stood out. That's what it was, and
Gotcha.
we hired him. Obviously, you need to have you need to have the skills, but this one was the one that stood out, and we worked together for, I don't know, 5 or 7 years. So it was a
Brilliant.
good it was a good catch. Yeah. So this is one thing: be creative,
Mhm.
and on the other hand, ask for recommendations. So when I received 5 emails from people that I do not know, but if someone has someone in common, like a mutual friend that can recommend him, that is something that always helps, because I will call this friend and ask him about this guy, about this
Sure.
person, and this always helps. So these are two tricks to get into dreams: and be creative and ask for recommendations. Try to find some mutual friends, some things in common that we have.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and once you start and once you work, the other thing that comes to my mind when working with the producers and directors, especially when you start, and especially when you work with someone that you don't know, is to listen more and talk less, especially at the beginning. They always say there is a reason we've got 2 ears and one mouth, and this is because I believe we should listen more, not only because our sound editors and sound designers, but also that we are human beings, and that we should first know what the other side is looking for. So if a director comes to me um, for the first, let's say, spotting session, I would allow him to say all the doubts, all the questions, all the thoughts that he had throughout 1 or 2 years that he's been already doing the movie. We make tons of notes. Everything that the director says will be noted. Obviously, we'll have some questions as well, but this is the first step, to just to know what they are looking for, because sometimes every director is different, every
Yeah.
producer is different, and everyone has their background. Everybody has worked with someone already. So I would listen to them. We've got this. We worked with a famous Polish director, Władysław Pasikowski, once, and it was our first meeting. And what he said, you guys know how to do it, but I'm here to do it a bit differently. And we remembered that. And he also said, there's one scene towards the end of the movie, the car chase. And well, the car chase is not as fast as I imagine. And I'm hoping that sound will help. And I
Right.
hope you guys can help me with that. What we did, we started, every member of the team started with the car chase. So for the next meeting, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, what we showed the car chase, like almost a finished scene, and then we would say we bought the director. So he said, okay, if you guys can do the most difficult scene, I'm pretty sure that you can do all the other scenes
Good.
at the
I got
beginning
it.
of the movie. So this is a good, if there is something that they are afraid of, or they want to check, test, and even if it's towards the end of the movie, I would start with that. And for the next meeting, I would be prepared to meet all those expectations. That helped me so many times that this is something that I would you know give as a good tip.
Mm,
Whether you do sound,
yeah.
music, whether you edit, or whatever you do in sound business, in movie business.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. So, and another thing that I want to tip our younger friends is that probably 80% of the things that you'll be doing, especially at the beginning, won't be the best movies, films, scenarios, and stuff that you've seen, but it's part of the game, and you need to do it to start working. I would always look for something new that you can learn doing a movie, and also to approach it differently every time.
Yeah.
That's what I say to our team members. Even if the movie is a third part of the comedy that we've known, and it's easy peasy, it's a regular job, but it's good to find something new that you can add to it. Let's say, well, we are having this fun car. Let's do a recording of several fun cars, and we'll have some fun with that. We'll
Mhm.
add we'll add new sounds to our library, and we'll approach it differently. Let's give it a try. So one thing is that if the movie is straightforward, we would go do some field recordings that we would normally not do, but out of curiosity and out of
Yeah.
this tip to approach it differently, let's try
Sometimes
another
it's
approach.
experimental, isn't it, Casper?
Yeah, it's experimental, and that's what makes the job fun. It's either in sound, music, in editing, whatever you do, you just experiment and make it fun, because you never know when it comes back to you. This experiment may result in something new that you've learned, or maybe in some other job that you'll do with some other director, producer. This will benefit. So
Yeah.
yeah, just learn something new every time,
Exactly.
approach it differently, and find some motivation to get up early, to show up, and to be better every day.
Perfect.
And last but not least, excuse me, I've got this. Um, and this is something that I've learned also while working for 20 years now. Uh, even if you even if you think that the movie that you've done is similar to some other movie that you've seen last week of another director, never ever, and I would say never ever, compare the movie that you are doing and the director and the producer that you are doing to another, in my case, Polish
Yeah.
producer, director, and movie that you've seen that was recently released. And that's I sometimes forget about this rule and just make a remark to a
Yeah.
director that I know, and it always ends up, no, no, this our movie is much better, different. It's
It's a
completely,
different
totally different.
message.
Yeah, so the only case that you are allowed, in my opinion, to compare a movie to another movie is if another movie is Stanley Kubrick or Martin Scorsese movie, and this is something that the director, well, you think so? Well,
Yeah.
thank you, I think so too. But otherwise, just forget it. Remember that the producer and the director are bringing their beloved child to your studio
For
or
recreation.
to your office, and you need to be careful with that. And this is, this is the most beautiful child you've ever seen.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so these are a few tips
Well,
that came to my mind. Um,
I'm very grateful, Casper, this, and I'm sure they will be as well, because these little nuggets of information are going to
yeah,
be so useful. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you again soon.
thank you, Paul. See you